Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show you your next project. Your next project is going to take what you learned with the cell phone stand and go a little bit further with that skill set and knowledge. So what you see right here is I have a toy box that is fully operational. It has a sliding top lid and it's got shapes that can fit in all of the shape slots on the block. So what your first step is in this project is to take the lid out, and then your job is to measure this box and the dimensions and create your box first. So I'm going to show you that step right now. So what you're going to do is take your digital calipers, make sure they're zeroed, and make sure you're in millimeters. What you're then going to do is take your digital calipers and move them out and measure the width. So the width of this box is basically 70 millimeters. The height of the box is basically 70 millimeters. And up here, 70 millimeters. So we're going to make a 70 by 70 by 70 box. So I'm going to come into Onshape. And here I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Create, a new document. We're going to call it ToyBoxPart1 and put your name, hit enter. All right, hold on a second. Your very first step is to go ahead and click on the top of the box with the left mouse button. Go ahead and hide the front and hide the right planes. That way, if you hold the right button down on the mouse, you can still pan around and not be confused by all the planes. So again, I'm looking on the top of the plane. I'm going to left click sketch and bring my mouse over to the plane until it turns orange, and I'm going to left click. Now what I'm going to do is do a center point rectangle, and I'm going to click on the dot, the origin. I'm tangent on that origin. I'm going to left click and drag out and click. Again, I've messed up. I'm going to go up to the dimension options where I'm working in workspace units, and I'm going to change it to millimeter and hit the check button. Now I can right click on the box and click edit sketch. So I'm going to get my dimension tool and I'm going to left click on the top line and type in 70, hit enter. Left click on the other line and drag my mouse over, and then left click one more time and type 70 and hit enter. Then I'm going to go to the extrude option in the top left and I'm going to type in 70 right here where it's 25, hit enter and hit check. So now we have the basic shape of the box. So what we got to do now is figure out what is the distance on the inside of the box and remove it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the camera and take a look at this box. So let me dump out the shapes. Alright, so the first step is to determine how wide this top part is. So it is 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters. So that's easy. All we have to do now is go into the program, all right, look at top down, and then do sketch and click on the top of the box, and all I have to do is take the line tool, pick any corner you want, left click on the corner and come over to the right, staying tangent on the line, and click and immediately type in 5. Then go up straight, showing the that you're a right angle line, you're a straight line, and click and type in 5. I'm going to then immediately right click and escape line, and let's continue making our perimeter. I technically only need to make one more, and it's in the top right corner, so I'm going to left click in the top right corner, follow the line and be tangent, and type 5 after I left click. Do the same thing, come down, make it a straight line, left click and type 5 and hit enter. Now I can go to the corner rectangle and simply click on this bottom endpoint, left click once, and drag up to this endpoint right here and click. That should mean now I've got 5 millimeters here, 5 millimeters here, 5 millimeters here, and 5 millimeters here. We're going to check it. Hit the dimension tool, and I'm going to left click on this line and left click on that line, and you can see pull up and left click, and then I'll right click escape, it's 5. And by the way, it's grayed out because you can't change the measurement. Because you've already set the measurement with your corner rectangle, it's never going to change. So basically everything is the way I want it to be. They all say 5 millimeters. So we're good to go. Now I'm going to click on the inside of this shape like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and select extrude. And then I'm going to remove. Now the box is 70 millimeters. And we've got to figure out how thick that bottom plate is. I'm going to assume it's 5 millimeters, but let's take a look. So all I have to do is use the depth function, which is right here on this part. So I'm going to pull this out like so, and then I'm going to come down and take a look at where we're at. So it says 67 millimeters, so it's actually 3 millimeters. So all we have to do now is go back into the program and do 70 minus 3, which is 67, hit enter, hit check. So now we have our box that looks just like, if I come over to the camera, that looks just like this shape, but with no shapes on the sides and no lid tray cut out. So now we got to do the track right here, and we got to figure out how to make that track. So that shouldn't be too bad. We're going to figure that out right now. So what we need to do is figure out how far in does this go and how far down does this go. So let's first measure this. We know this is 5 millimeters, right? And then we got to figure out how thick this part is right here. And it says 1.3. So I'm going to assume we'll keep it at 1.3. So I need to come out 5 millimeters and then go down 1.3 millimeters to get this coordinate right here. Okay? So let's do that. I'm going to leave it just like that. We're going to go into the platform. We're going to do a new sketch on the front. So I'm going to left click sketch, left click the front. So I'm going to left click in the top and draw a line and type 5 millimeters. Then I'm going to draw a line straight down and type in 1.3 millimeters. And then I should be able to go back a certain distance. So we're going to figure out what that distance is, okay? So let me go back into the camera. Here we go. And that distance is right here, 2.5 millimeters. So now I got to go back 2.5 millimeters. This way, keep a straight line. Let me zoom in so you can see. Straight line and type in 2.5 millimeters. Now I got to figure out how far down I got to go. So let's go back in the camera. So here we go. Now I got to go down. Let's see if I can get the teeth in here. Let's go. There we go. So it looks like I'm going to go down 6 millimeters. So here we go. Go back into my drawing. Make a straight line. Click and make it 6 millimeters. And then all I have to do now basically is draw a straight line to the next part. So let me right click escape. So now all I have to do is zoom out, and I want to copy the same thing on this side. So what we're going to do is take a line tool, go to the middle right here of the line in the midpoint, left click and make a straight line. Let's go to our mirror tool, left click on the mirror tool, left click on that midpoint line you just drew, and then you can draw this line, and this line. Let me zoom in and make sure I get this line. And then now all I have to do is take this line and connect it, like so. Now I got to go right click escape line. Now I kind of have the track the way I want it. All I have to do now is figure out how far in I need to go. So what I'm going to do is hit extrude. All right, let me actually exit that. I'm going to click on that shape, and then I'm going to go extrude, remove, and you can kind of see that we're now building exactly what we want to build. Now I got to figure out how far in this goes. So that's easy. Let's go to our video. And all I've got to do now is use that depth tool. Come over like this. Let me see if you can see it. There we go. And then let me slide this down. Having a hard time. And it says 68, or let's do 68. All right, and we know the wall thickness is, let's take a look. The wall thickness is 2.5. So really what we need to do is go 67.5. So here we go. 67.5, hit enter and hit check. All right, now you can see I've got that inside wall. Now let's take a look at this and see if I actually have that wall. It's going in like this. So maybe I need to go, all right, I know what I need to do. So what we did here is we actually took this off with it. So if I actually do, take a look, we're gonna change that. I'm gonna actually come over to extrude 3 and delete it. And what I'm gonna do on this sketch right now is I'm gonna go edit this sketch, and I'm gonna draw a straight line first, like this, right click escape line, and I'm gonna click that inside rectangle, and I'm gonna go extrude, remove, and again type in 67.5 and watch. Hit enter and go check. Now you see how it made that lip right there? What I'm now gonna do is go sketch on this face again, and what I'm gonna do is this time I'm gonna remove that top piece up to the face. So what I'm gonna do is come right here, and what we need to do is do the use tool. So we're gonna click on this line, and then I'm gonna click on this dot. All right, and then I'm gonna come over, move over to this side by pushing the wheel down, and I'm gonna click on this dot. Now all I have to do is draw a straight line down. There we go. And then the same thing, click the line tool, click it again with the left button. Left click on this dot, go straight down till you are tangent on the line. Right click escape. Now I can click on that rectangle I have, and then I can go extrude, remove, and this time I'm going to do, instead of blind, I'm going to left click and go to up to face, and I'm going to click on that face and go check. Now what we have is the shell of the box, and it has a track that matches exactly what you see in the camera. So if I come back here, that is what we have. So that right now is the first part. Now what I'm going to do is teach you how to do one side really quick and how to redraw the shapes on this side. What you're going to do is, like X and Y, you're going to find the coordinates for every point on the box and make a line that goes to those coordinates. So I'm only going to show you how to do this shape, and this shape in another video. This is part 1, where you're going to learn how to make the box and then how to make the track, and then the rest is up to you on how to do these shapes right here and these shapes right here and make your toy box. So good luck. This is part 1 of the video, and I'm going to end it.